on.
Hello, Batavia Mayor Jeff Schielke speaking to you on Friday, September 24th, 2021. And I'm here today with quite a bit of information to share. Let's talk about some of the good things that we have going on in the community. Perhaps of paramount interest to many people in the community is the Community Engagement Open House, which will be held tomorrow, September 25th, from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. at the Peg Bond Center down here at Houston and Island Avenue by the Riverwalk. And the City of Batavia and the Batavia Park District have launched a comprehensive planning process for the Batavia's Fox River corridor intended to enhance recreational function, river ecology, cultural importance, and stewardship of Batavia's most valuable natural resources for future generations. The first step in selecting a dam removal process and reviewing how each concept affects the depot pond is the order of business at hand. We want to encourage public input into this, and so therefore the engineers who are overseeing the designs, which we've got several, are going to be present, and we'll be showing those to folks and asking for their input into it. And so we're trying to gather community reaction and support or objection, and so we encourage you, if you've got an interest in what's going to happen on the river or at the depot pond, to please stop by between 9 and 10:30 on Saturday morning, and we should have some folks there to answer your questions. We also want to mention that, as you know, we have full plans on the go-ahead to build a Flag Day monument in downtown Batavia right to the east of the Peg Bond Center next to the city parking lot. And this will pay tribute to Flag Day movement, and specifically the activities of Dr. Bernard Segran back at the turn of the last century, when he was one of those in the United States that led to the push of creating National Flag Day on June 14th. The group is reaching the goals that they need to have to build this monument, but they're going to have a fundraiser for 2021, and that's going to be on Thursday, October 7th, and it's going to be a Stars and Stripes fundraiser at the Max McGraw Wildlife Foundation, which is up in East Dundee, near where the old Milk Pail restaurant used to be on Route 25. And there's going to be a rental gun is free of charge, and there's going to be flyers and links, and they're going to have a patriotic event at the Max McGraw Wildlife Organization up there. And if you're into shooting, we would encourage you to contact the Fox Valley Patriotic Organization and give them a call, and we will be doing everything we can to try to encourage folks to stop by and see what's going on there at that event. So that again is going to be on the evening of Thursday, October 7th at the Max McGraw Wildlife Foundation on Route 25 in East Dundee. And if you have further questions, I'd encourage you to look at the Fox Valley Patriotic Organization's website or the Flag Day Monument, and you should be able to get full details in it. We are anticipating that there will be a registration at 11:30, and lunch will be served at 1, followed by ceremonies and safety briefings, and then there will be a sign-up of teams of 4 for $1,100 of individual, or $300 for an individual, and you will have the opportunity to win some prizes and participate in a memorable event which will support some very necessary improvements in downtown Batavia to enhance our patriotic image. One other thing that I want to mention is the fact that this is homecoming weekend in Batavia, and by the time you get this report, we will have had the Batavia High School homecoming parade on Wednesday afternoon. On Thursday night will have been the Batavia High School Hall of Honor alumni induction, of which I believe there's 16 because they didn't get to do it last year, so they're picking about 8 former Batavia High School graduates who have distinguished themselves in their lives and careers to be honored, and those folks will be honored on Thursday night. Then Friday will be the great football game that hopefully Batavia will come out 5-0 after that one. And, we'll have a great time for this weekend. I know a lot of former Batavia High School residents come back from wherever they are now living and participate in some of this. And so we look forward to a good weekend there. I would like to, get on a serious note here for just a moment and just read a press release that has been issued by the Batavia Police Department on Sunday, September 19th, 2021, at approximately 11:16 p.m. in the evening. The Batavia Police Department was dispatched to the 1000 block of Laurel and Circle for a report of shots being fired. Upon arrival, responding officers were directed to an unattended vehicle in a grass courtyard of the apartment complex. The vehicle was found unoccupied and had suspected bullet holes in it. Following an extensive search, the occupants of the vehicle were located in a nearby residential neighborhood. And the subjects admitted that they had been involved in an attempted drug transaction in the area. They described the person they met to be wearing all white clothing. During the transaction, another person approached the vehicle from an unknown location. Shots were then fired at their vehicle as they began to drive away. While attempting to elude the shooter, the subjects drove through the grass in the 1000 block of Laurel and Circle, which is the Laurel and Apartments, and striking a tree before coming to stop and then fleeing that vehicle on foot. The shooting is believed to have been an isolated incident, and the Batavia Police Department has no reason to believe that there is any threat to the public. This is an active and very much ongoing investigation at this time, and I can assure you as mayor that we brought in a whole bunch of resources starting on Sunday night from other agencies and are doing a thorough review of this whole situation. I find it most discouraging that this whole thing seems to be revolving around drugs. And we do have a drug problem in Batavia, and I would tell you it may be one of the worst times I've ever seen drugs in Batavia at the level that they are. I see it almost every day in ambulance reports. And of course, with the HIPAA law that's out there, Health Information Personal Privacy Act, none of this can be disclosed. Names, addresses, situations cannot be released to the public. So a lot of stuff gets, describe it as getting swept under the carpet. But we do have a problem here, and so I've taken a pretty strong stand on drugs in my time as mayor of Batavia, and I stand by that because unfortunately the experiences we've had the last couple of years have not been really very encouraging. So certainly I would encourage anybody in Batavia that sees any issues involving drugs, please feel free to contact the Batavia Police Department, and I can assure you they will use any information you give them in just confidence and security, and will not do anything to endanger anybody. But we're waging our own kind of war down here about this, and we certainly ask for public cooperation and support because we admittedly do have a problem in town. On a more positive note, I just would like to kind of end by noting that you've all heard and read, and probably in the newspapers or on the computer, that we've got a couple new eating places or refreshment areas about to be added to the Randall Road corridor in Batavia. We've got a Starbucks and a Chipotle, which are going to be in the block between McKee Street and Wilson Street on the east side of Randall Road, next to Raising Cane's chicken restaurant out there. And that'll be two more. And I can tell you, I guess I can't name them yet, but I will tell you that the community development staff, as I said here, is actively working with 3 other restaurants / convenience centers that are trying to open up on the Randall Road corridor of Batavia. And so you're going to read some more headlines and some more activity, and when you find out who these are, I think there's going to be a number of people in Batavia who are going to be very pleased by some of the offerings that may be emerging out of Batavia within the next, I'll call it the next year, because some of this stuff does take a little bit of a time to get it all worked its all way through the system. But we do have the people at the door. I saw some plans this morning that were dropped off of a new building that's going to replace a building on Randall Road area that's going to be tore down. And this new building, in my opinion, is gonna be a superly nice appearing building, and one that I think all Batavia will be very proud of. It's all brick, and it's gonna have, the edges of the building all have limestone corners on them. So we've got some stuff happening that is gonna kind of spruce up the town, and I think that's a kind of a good way to kind of end what I wanted to say this week. Batavia has, had a lot of great opportunities over the years, and the last few with all the new ideas that have been brought in, with the new shops down at River and Wilson, with the expansion of the farmers market, with the activities we've seen this summer at the Peg Bond Center and other places. We really have kind of spruced up Batavia, and I've had several longtime Batavians who moved away come back here in the last few weeks and say, gee, you can't believe all the changes that are taking place here, and they all seem to be for the better. And so we do have a lot of people that are, patting us on the back and saying this is really making Batavia come to be a town that is shining brightly. And as I've started doing, I'm going to again cite my heart here that's made out of a rock, and with Batavia over the state of Illinois, and just illustrate this is that I think this speaks to the heart and soul of what Batavia is all about. We are a town of nice people who hold long-time friendships and love for one another, and we really hold in our hearts what is the best for each other and the best for our community. And those are things that we try to hold on to and cherish, because life doesn't get much better than that when you do have things that you really are proud of, and you have relationships that are strong, and you understand each other. And Batavia's, if we got one good thing going for us, we've got great churches, we've got good understanding in the community, and we've got one another to depend on and to support each other. And that's what a town should be all about, and I think Batavia well meets that definition. So with that little speech, I'll end and wish you all a good week, and I look forward to talking to you next week.